Obviously, I've been a huge nerd for a really long time. This is a picture of me from 1998 when I went to space camp in 7th grade. So I am a huge space nerd. If you couldn't tell already. So, of course, I've got some plans for the upcoming Eclipse. That doesn't include just these. It includes one of these. Turn your smartphone into a telescope. So let's open this puppy up and see what we got. This was a Kickstarter, but it was a company that seemed to exist before, which is really important because I've been burned on a few Kickstarters before. So already, this is a pretty nice little package it's come with. Cool, so I think this is the majority of the optics. Okay, it's got a little film on it protecting it. So the idea here is load up your smartphone in place and the optics within this magnify it. I think it said 25 times. So I do believe I'm going to go test that hopefully this afternoon. Comes with a solar filter for parts of the eclipse that you can't view with the naked eye, and then I assume I'll be removing that during totality to get some cool pictures of the sun. So I think first thing is I'm going to remove some protective films. Maybe check out some of the glass to make sure it looks like it's in good working order. Yeah, the glass was so clear, it was hard to tell it was actually in there. Alright. So, I guess there's probably instructions. There's even a QR code about how to do it. These are not instructions, these are cleaning wipes. Anyway, let's first see if we can just align this up. Let's see what it looks like. So I assume everything in here is too narrow to be able to test, but things seem to be going well. I'm going to check out this solar filter. So it's threaded and a little touchy. And yeah, I mean, hopefully, okay, so I'm getting some light leaking in. There shouldn't be enough light in this room to show any kind of image. Alright, cool. So that's mainly the glass. I don't know what this is about. Read the instructions on that one. Also came with a tripod, which I'll test out outdoors, and yeah, really excited to do this test run. It's a pretty successful first test. Kind of cool. Alright. Very successful first test. A few things I found. I think I gotta figure out how to keep this a little more sturdy. It was also extremely windy and a lot of clouds, but I got some pretty good pictures and some pretty good video, so you'll probably be seeing that right here as I'm talking. But yeah, I definitely think this is going to be really cool for the Eclipse and possibly a bunch of other stuff, so I will keep testing it. It was a little hard to find the moon in the image. Maybe took a minute, so not actually that hard. I still want to test it with the solar filter tomorrow. I believe it'll be sunny tomorrow, so I should be able to test it. And yeah, I think this is going to be really cool for the Eclipse, so I'm going to pack it up. Oh, hello there. Got one last thing to do before the Eclipse this weekend, and that is to make some solar covers for these binoculars. I have a large sheet, this. It's got a shiny side, hey look, and a black side. The shiny side goes out towards the sun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cover that's easily removable because I want to be able to use these during totality as well. We're going to use this box that I got my telescope in for my smartphone because we don't want to waste anything. First I'm going to fold it flat. Then I'm going to find two things. One is the maximum width cross for these. And then also the minimum. You know, I need enough space in between them to fit the piece of cardboard that's going to hold it on. So I'm just going to bump it off to the side. Alright, so the plan is to cut a hole that accommodates both of those, and then put little rings around them so it fits over glasses, and then we'll have a decent shield that'll block your face from the sun. So first thing is I'm going to cut out this oval. Kind of cut through this part a little bit, but right now I think that accommodates a decent amount of eye width differences. We're not going to get the full range, but just do our best. Alright, so next up, I want to make some hoods that go around binoculars so that it's easy to take on and off. Alright, just going to kind of break this up so I can get a circle out of it. Got black gaffer tape to do this whole thing. Okay, we got one. Do the same on this one. So this doesn't want to bend at some point. It kinks. So what I'm doing is just doing a bunch of kinks to allow it to conform to a circle. That way, definitely not perfect, but it's doing all right. Tape them into place. I think we're just gonna do a bunch of those. Now if we're going to quickly look. Pretty simple, we got some adjustability, but cool. Yeah, it's kind of easy to hold with your like pinkies on there. Alright, so here we are. We have our mask and we have our polymer. Good, I didn't make it too big. I have no idea how well or not so well this stuff cuts. I'm going to do a little practice. Okay, great. Cuts perfectly easy. Alright, so I'm going to do the full width. And let's see if I can't do... Can't really draw on it, but I can certainly cut it, right? I know if you scratch the surface, it's not safe to use. So I'm going to try to be real careful with this. And feels like something I only got one shot at, so I don't want to pull tape off of it either. I think that's another good way to damage it. Alrighty. Alright, it's covering the entire field of view. Then, the last step I want to do is, like I said, this scratches and can be damaged and would not be great to look through, especially through binoculars. So I'm going to make some cover that protects it while we're traveling. Yeah, so what does that look like? you know, that feels pretty close to something that I can use. So I'm not gonna overthink this one. Gonna call it good. And I'm just gonna put the covers back on. These are really cheap binoculars that I got for, you know, random night sky viewing. They're not that impressive, but yeah, they're not bad. Alrighty, so let's see. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next week.